Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Crash TV, Crash Clinic. It's been a few weeks and it's gone extremely quick. So I am almost better. There's a little bit still left in my voice, so big apologies. If you follow the show, of course, the last couple of weeks, I haven't been too well. I've had a bit of a flu and I thought a little rest, give you guys a rest anyway. Although I did do a little poll and a few people missed it, which is great, of course. So thanks for joining in. Obviously, I've been away for a few weeks, got back to the norm, and lots has been going on, of course. We've got lots and lots going on. So I thought while I was away, I had time to have a little bit of a think. And the industry, just today alone, I think it was today or yesterday, the MBRA posted something on saying that people have been in touch with him in some serious conversations, how worried they are about the future. So it is sparking off. We're talking about it all. Ian, great to see you there, pal. Thanks for great to see you on board. Of course, we had a nice chat this week as well. But yes, things are changing drastically. The industry, I have been saying this for ages, that industry is going to change more in the next few years, probably than it's ever changed. And I think it's going to be unrecognizable. But I think it's time, like I keep saying, Crash Clinic was started for us to try and come together so we can try and shape those changes. That's what we need to do. Brett, how you doing? Great to have you on, of course, mate. Yeah, I am feeling a lot better, but you can probably hear I'm still after 6 weeks, can't believe it, got a little something hanging around in my throat. Ivan, how you doing? Great to see you in, guys. So what I'm going to do in a minute, I'm going to catch up a little bit with some polls that we've had running whilst I was away. Obviously, I couldn't get on the show, so I thought I'll put a few polls on so we can have some discussions when I got back. And hopefully, guys, you will have seen a couple of posts this week or in the last couple of days. I have decided, I've been talking about it, but we're all busy. I know we're all busy. Jason, how you doing? Great to see you as well, my friend. So, yeah, I just thought it's time to do the meeting. We need a get together. We desperately need a get together. There will be limited places, of course. Anyone who is a member of Crash Clinic will automatically be in, of course, if you're a member of our website. Andy, how are we doing? It's great to see everyone coming in again. I thought everyone had forgotten about it. It's only been 3 weeks, but how quick has that gone? I know we say the weeks go fast, but I have to be honest, I think it's been 3, might even be 4 weeks. And that's it's gone so fast. But yeah, obviously what I'm going to do now, and I decided not this Thursday coming, the Thursday after, it's time for us guys to get in a live environment where we can have a chat. We can air. I just thought it's going to be quite, quite blasé, quite, open, just guys to have a chat. Let's air all the concerns, get them off our chest on the morning. Then we'll have a little break, of course, and then I'm going to come back and talk about some ideas that I've got, quite a few ideas, and I want to hear a lot from you. Obviously, it's more important. This is Crash Clinic is all about us coming together. I please want people to understand that this isn't about me. This is about us as an industry coming together, trying to make things better. Now, I'm going to go back to a story that when I started this, there was a massive point that I was trying to make, and I've got to get that across to you all. Paul, how are we doing? Again, great to have more and more people coming in there. Fantastic. Thanks again for your time, of course. But yet the whole idea of this is many moons ago in the insurance industry, the insurers started to buy up all the brokers and the brokers started to disappear. Known fact. Barry, how are we doing? Again, this is getting great. More and more people coming in. Thanks again. So what actually happened is that the smaller brokers that were left became helpless, became powerless. So as they were getting worried, because like you guys, I dealt with a lot of brokers. They were getting really worried because the bigger guys were getting more power and the little guys were getting none. So some clever spark set up something called Broker Direct. Broker Direct was for all the individual people left to join together, join forces and become a stronger power. So they still had their independence. They were still their own independent insurance brokers. But now they've become part of this big group where their buying power was back. They became a voice to be reckoned with. I believe they still are today. Very, very big group. Now, this was probably 10, 20 years ago. So this is what I'm trying to do, guys, is I'm trying to say the same thing. We really, really need, in my opinion, to do something similar, because the smaller guys are becoming more and more powerless. But together we can have a lot of power. We can be a bigger voice in this industry, and that's what we need to do now more than ever. There's some clever people in this industry. We're all businessmen. My aim for the 22nd of this month is to get us in a room. We're going to sit there and sort of talk about the things we don't like, talk about the things that have annoyed us. I've got loads of plans and ideas for the future. I've got lots of concepts. Some of it you might think is crazy, but some of it is, I think, is going to be a very healthy way forward for us. And some of this other stuff that I think we need to stick together on stuff at the moment. I think this winter alone is going to be really, really interesting, really hard, because we've got more changes coming on now. This winter, let's face it, guys, everybody is so busy and the winter's not even here yet. The clocks go back at the end of October, of course. We're very close to that time. And I know for a fact there's people that are booking in up to Christmas already. So where are insurers going to get their work done? Massive, massive problem coming this Christmas. I think everyone else is sort of thinking that, you know, what are we going to do? How can you increase your work? Is it worth increasing your work? This is the things we've got to discuss. Hourly rates, you know, nothing has settled as yet. And I want to talk about charges. I want to talk about the industry. What I want to do first is get this 22nd where we shut the door and us independent repairers talk about it. Because there's some serious, in my opinion, there's some serious stuff we need to get off our chests. We need to talk about and try and at least come up with ideas to help shape the way forward. If we don't do that, guys, we're all sitting there going, oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Yes, the worst is going to happen if we don't start doing stuff, if we don't stand up, and if we don't start coming together and trying to bring these ideas together to help each other. This industry is known for years and years and decades. A lot of people will say, yeah, it's all been tried before. You know what? I was taught when I was growing up, try again. So I'm here trying again. I will tell you again, once we get into this room, I'll tell you a lot more about myself and what I've done within the industry. And don't forget, when people say, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can. In 2001, I keep harking on about it. The credit hire industry was apparently gone. Insurers and body shops and accident management companies did not get on. So I came up with a plan and I called all the insurers into my offices, the ones I'm sat in right now, and I put a plan out on a piece of paper and a contract for 7 of the biggest insurers. They loved it. They said it's great. And they signed the contracts. They went away and then created the GTA, which runs the credit hire industry today. Still, that was what I wrote. So I know we can do it again. I think we're in a bigger mess now than back in 2001. And I think there's a lot of different issues now. But also at the same token, body shops are totally different beasts to what we were 20 years ago. And I think we're 10 times better than what we were. I think as an industry, we're 10 times better than what we were. And it's a shame, because I believe we deserve, as repairers now, we deserve more respect. So there's lots I'm going to talk about. That day is going to be a great day, an interesting day. It's not going to be a normal crappy day, because I'm not here to talk about the shit. Excuse me, French. We'll get that out the way on the morning. We'll talk about all our airs. We'll jot some points down. We'll put down all the problems and the problems that we're going to be facing. But then the most important part for me is also, it's not about talking about lingering on about the problems. It's what can we do about them? I want to hear from you guys as well. If you've got a good idea, you've got something we can put together, something that's going to help us all, we want to hear from it. I want you to understand that the Crash Clinic, the social network, is for independent repairers to come together. That's what it's all about. It's not about me. This is about all of us coming together, putting our brain power together and carving and creating a better future. We must be able to do it together. There's a lot of clever people out there, and I can't wait to meet you all face to face and have this discussion live. Yes, of course, I will be vetting who's coming in. There will be no spies or anything like that coming in, because this is for independent repairers to discuss our industry and to try and create a better way forward. So I hope, obviously, I'd like to see as many as possible. It's going to be, Ian, it's going to be down by Birmingham Airport. Obviously, I've got to host it all. Remember, I don't earn anything out of this. I still don't even get enough memberships coming in yet from Crash Clinic because I still think not enough people know what I'm doing. I'm having to host the website. I'm having to host everything. We've now got an app that we can communicate with. There's lots going to be coming out in the next few months. I do need your help for that. I'm not sitting here making money out of it. It's just something for us to communicate, our own place to communicate, tell each other about the good things that are going on, tell each other about the good things we're doing. Hi all, hope you're well. Again, love to have you in, Paul. So yeah, it's all about us discussing the future. It's down by the airport. The train's easy enough to get, easy to the motorways. I've made it at a 10 o'clock start, so it's not too early for anyone who's got to come from too far. But I do believe it's well worth your time coming. We all need to talk. I think we all need to discuss the future. I've been there 33 years. I don't know everything. Ian Summers has been there a long time. Lots of us have been there a long time. We need to put our brain power together. So I can't keep going on enough about the 22nd of September. Let's make it a good one. It's going to be the first one, of course. Hopefully the first in a series. Excuse me, blinking or something, give me on. Hopefully the first in a series, because I think once we've had one, I think we'll want to do a few more. And it's our future, it's our industry. So let's take the time. Yes, the winter's coming. We've got a very busy time coming ahead. Can we make the future brighter? Can we make the future better? I believe we can. So I really, really do want to hear from you guys on the 22nd. I'm hiring a room, nothing fancy. There will be tea, coffee, drinks, etc. And then there'll be a whiteboard. I want to sit there and discuss our problems and see what you guys think is a better way forward and how can help us. And then I'm going to share some stuff with you that I think can help. And I want to know if you want to be part of it, of course, because that's a massive part. Just like I said with this network of brokers, they saved themselves, in my opinion. They gave themselves the power of the big boys again. And if we don't do that, I believe we're all on a sinking ship to nowhere, because the industry is going to be crazy in another 18 months time. Wow. Hopefully I'll still be sitting here and talking about it, but in a different way. That's the aim of it. I want us to come together and get stronger. So now we know that, guys, as well. I'm just going to share with you a few facts, of course. New car sales, they reckon, are on a decline. How that affects us, I don't know, but I like to put these stats out there. They reckon that the new car sales have been on a decline for the last 5 months. I don't know whether that's because they can't get the cars to supply them, because I know that was 6 months ago. That was a problem. August, they reckon van sales also declined, which is quite shocking, because I think, obviously, because of COVID, the white van man became very, was doubling, wasn't it? Because what COVID had done. So again, some interesting facts. And insurance claims this week, excuse me, something in my eye typically. Insurance claims this week have said, they've come out and said that the insurance claims are going up again. We know that the cost of everything's going up, so they're not on their own, but they can't blame the accident repair industry. They can't blame the claims, in my opinion. It's probably the parts. It's probably, the value of these parts and everything else is going up, but that's not us, to say the least, of course. Jason says, Kia says 6 months to get new cars now. So maybe that's a massive part of the decline. I have to be honest, I was sitting here in the middle of the summer a few months ago thinking it was going to get better. And I'm pretty sure you guys were as well. I don't know whether it's thinking it, whether it's hoping it, but I really believe things would be getting better in the next sort of coming up to Christmas, and thinking that things would return to normal by next year. Like Jason has just said, Kia is saying 6 months to order a new car. Is it getting any better from the sound of that? It doesn't seem to be. I do know I've spoke to a few dealerships myself this week that have also said very similar stories. So I don't know if it's actually getting any worse, but I don't think it's getting any better. But that still leaves us balancing on the line. Is it going to get better, or is it going to get worse? We still don't know, which is quite scary. How that's going to affect us, I don't know. Probably not, because used cars, I believe, are on the incline because of that. And so, yeah, not sure it's going to affect us too much. MBRA, of course, said this week that they've had a lot of calls from worried repairers. So I think they're probably going to get together as well and have some kind of discussions. The more discussions we have in this industry, the better. So Good on you, MBRA. Keep trying. I know they've also launched some kind of working plan. They didn't tell you what the rates were and all that for members. Luckily, next week, I've got Chris Weeks, smashing guy, very knowledgeable guy from the MBRA, coming onto the show. You've got it, live debate again, which I'm really looking forward to. I do like these live debates, and I like to hear from people like Chris who are trying to do things in this industry again. You know, anyone who's trying to do something fantastic. So let's hear what they've got to say. It's something I don't know enough of, the MBRA. It should be something I don't know whether I should be part of it. I haven't joined it as yet. Have you? But these are the things we need. This is what this is about. This is about us finding out about everything that's out there for our industry and for us guys to learn from and get the best out of. Let's have a quick look there. Paul Price says JLR are sending staff home because of supply chain issues with production. Wow. Now, there you go, Paul. That is worrying. That's what I was just trying to get at. Is it getting worse? Is it getting better? That makes me believe it is getting worse. And that's, wow, that's crikey. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. We must be fixing this soon enough. I've heard many have put sales staff on 4 days in the Midlands. Wow. See, crikey, I've been away too long. Maybe I shouldn't go away like that again, because it just, wow, it's mind-blowing. It really is mind-blowing. I did hear today from somebody who told me that BMW themselves are absolutely dead. I don't know how true that is, of course, but I heard it from someone at a dealership who said, yeah, they've been on to BMW themselves, said they're absolutely dead, car sales, etc. So, wowza, wowza. But again, these are things we need to know, guys. It's our industry, but I'm more concerned on the accident side. So I want to definitely meet with you guys in the 22nd. Please don't forget, there's going to be limited spaces. I think we can get about 50 people in there. If you're part of Crash Clinic, you will automatically get an invite anyway. So everybody else, please email me, and I'll put it in this chat quickly. It's Darren at crashclinic.com. Email me if you want to come to this, because I think it'll be a brilliant thing to do anyway. It's just us. We're all independent repairers going to sit there and discuss how can we make this industry better. And I'm really looking forward to that. So let's see what we can do. Matthew Cooper, to MBRA doing what they're trying to do with Crash Clinic? Should the MBRA be doing what they're trying to do with Crash Clinic? Not sure. I think you'll find if you come to the meeting, I know Anthony Hurd today put on one of my posts, already done what you're already doing what you're doing and done what you do. No, totally different. As I said to you, I created the GTA, which runs the non-fault side of the business, and has run it for the last 10 years. I am about trying to bridge that gap with the insurers, but I'm also about trying to do other things for us repairers together. So it's slightly different. So I don't care what anyone's doing. If someone's trying to make this industry better, good on you. And, you know, Anthony, get stuck in. Let's try it. We need someone to try and make things better. The more that try, the better. MBRA, you know, fantastic. But somebody did put on one of their posts, is this a sprat to catch the mattrel? You're not showing any labour rates, etc. So, again, saying they can provide work to their members. He said, is this to gain members? Let's give them the debate. Let them answer that question. You know, if they're trying to help, how can we knock people who are trying to help? Whether it helps or not is a totally different thing. What I'm trying to do is help. And you'll see that. If you come to the 22nd, you'll really understand where I'm at, where I'm going, and how I do differ. Again, you must understand, I'm not giving everything away on this site, because I need people to join the social network where we can talk behind closed doors. We can have these chats, and you'll find out exactly where I'm going. And I do believe I can change the industry again. So that's where we're going. There's a lot to do, and I want to hear from you guys, because we are the key parts of this industry. We, us repairers, nobody can do without us. Don't forget that. We're very, very important people in this industry. Unfortunately, we're not thought of like that. So I believe this winter is really going to show, it's really going to show how important we are, I think. Jason Shepard, similar here on independent dealer who has 3 sites closed. Wow. After 35 years, it's because they can't get enough used stock. Wow. With BCA Mayhem, keeping the good stuff for themselves. Whoa, that is mental. I told you this next sort of 12 months is frightening. NBRA said they would never be a work provider. Well, okay, we're going to get them on the show, Jason, and that was a few years ago. I think, again, anyone who can get decent work for us repairers, in my opinion, is welcome. I don't care who they are, as long as they can get us some decent contracts going in. That would be nice. So let's hear from them. They're on next week. It'll be a great show next week, of course. Chris Weeks, very knowledgeable guy, great guy. Be on the show, ask him the questions. That's what this show is all about, of course. Don't forget the 22nd. I would love to see you all there. I'm going to go over a few stats, of course. But yeah, limited spaces. So please email me. First come, first serve. Would hate to sort of turn anybody away because it's going to be a fantastic day. Can't wait to hear from everybody else. But it will be a very busy agenda because we've got so much to discuss. You know, we've gone after about 4 to 5 hours there, and it will be a very full-on busy day because we're going to have some great discussions. And let's see where that goes. If people want one a month from there or something else, let's look at it, because if we can start making changes and start doing things, I'm over the moon for that to happen. So, right, guys, that's enough said anyway. You know, tonight's show is all about next week. It's great to be back. I'm going to go over a few. Phil said I can get contracts. Phil, I'm just going to pump that up. Be great to have you down, actually, Phil. Why don't you pop along? Of course, it's next, not this Thursday coming, the one after, the 22nd at 10 o'clock in Birmingham. And we're going to discuss the industry inside out. And we're going to, as I say, we're going to let off a lot of steam on the morning. And then we're going to jot these points down. And we're going to come back with a fresh, after a little fresh break. Can't make the 22nd. Typical. Cancel it. Anyway, there may be more after that, Phil, but we are going to get together. We can never be perfect for everybody, of course. The first ones, I want to make sure they're productive. We've got a lot to talk about, and then we're going to take it from there. So I've got a lot to share with people as well. I've got a lot of ideas, a lot of things about us. We need to, the aim is to make you guys understand where I'm coming from, and hopefully we will get stronger together and stand stronger together. So let's see. So obviously, while I was flued up, I, again, apologies for not being able to make the last few weeks. It's probably given some of you a nice little break, but a few people missed it. So yeah, I did put up, still heavily flued up, and I can't make it this week. But so is anyone actually missing it? 73% said they were, and I was over the moon. I thought, fantastic. And because of that alone, we will continue. That was great news, guys. So thanks for that. Right, I just wanted to jot some things down, because part of coming together is I'm now looking at the increased costs to this industry, to us as repairers. And I got a few things that are blowing my mind. And one of them has been, where else, and I want someone to give me an industry where, like this, somebody comes in to have a car repaired, gets it repaired, we order the parts, and then the job goes off, gets invoiced out, 30 days, 60 days, whatever your insurance is going to pay you. That length of time that our money is out of our bank is outrageous. I don't know any other industry that does something similar. I've got some, obviously you've probably seen with Crash Clinic and that, I've got some software being done, the apps being done. I talk to even down to programmers who don't actually physically go and buy anything. They give you the quote. They say 50% up front and we'll start the work. 50% on completion. That's just for programming. When, how, and why did our industry get like that? It blows my mind. So there's a lot of things like this that I think need to change. And we'll be talking about that later on, of course. And obviously on the 22nd, I'm booked up till October at the moment. Disappointed, can't get that 22nd. Me too, mate. Big time. It's a real shame there. But again, we'll probably be there from 10 o'clock till about 4 o'clock, I would have thought. And yeah, sorry about that, mate. It'd be lovely to have you on board, but we are going to do more of them. When I say it's the first in the series of Together We Are Stronger. So that way, I think if we get these meetings and discuss things, we can't discuss it on here. I think a lot of people don't want to say things that they want to say. It's going to be very, behind closed doors. We are going to talk about the issues that we need to talk about. And I want everyone to be open and really get out there. So I will be vetting. There will be no spies in there. We're going to get just a proper, honest chat about our industry and how we can make it better. And these are a couple of the things, guys, when we come down to talking about it, I actually want to see, for some reason, Audatex, who are Audatex, and who are Audatex to tell us how we should do an estimate for a start. It's just, again, an insurance-owned, insurance-backed company that tell you how they want us to do estimates. I'm actually looking at it thinking, even nowadays, collecting a car, how much does that actually cost to give that service? Who says we have to give it free? Going and collecting a car, you get there, you might have gone out in one car to go and collect it. You may have had a courtesy car out there. You've got petrol in the courtesy car. You get there, there's no petrol in that car. You bring that one back. These are all costs from the minute we say go, and it absolutely blows my mind. So I want to look again very in depth on that Thursday. So that's something I'll put out beforehand, because I'd like you to bring some information about things that you think. I want you to really look at it properly. If you were charging for these jobs properly now, because we're going to be in a bad way in 6, 12, 18 months time. We don't make enough money. So I want to look at costs that really should be on an invoice. Years ago, average repair costs were under $1,000, so it was bearable. But now that's risen. Yeah, people are talking about $5 and $6 grand as an average repair cost. And many years ago, I remember quoting 16 years ago for a contract, and they said you've got to get the average repair cost to £760. I went, can't do it. Absolutely. That was 16 years ago. And now they reckon it's up to $6 grand an average repair, 5, 6 grand. So massive, massive differences, guys. But again, it's all about us making money. And we are the people that should say how an invoice is put together and what's put on it. Really should. And this is what I really want to discuss in greater detail now. And we need to come together to do that. Right. If you could add a charge to your repair invoice, what would it be? And this is what I mean. These are the kind of things. Electricity now. We've got these new charges. I don't know about you guys. We're actually now looking at more air dry lacquers, hardeners, anything to stop us using the booth quite so much. And I'm pretty sure you guys are doing the same because of all of these massive costs. So we need to look at our businesses, and I believe we need to look at what we should be charging for. Because if most businesses go to a chip shop, they might work out how much electric, how much gas, how much fat, how much, they put it all together, and then they come up with how they break down their charges to you to make money. And we need to look at everything we do now. In my opinion, we need to look at absolutely everything. Just because it's never been charged for before, look at the BSI charge. Look at, I think it was sundries many years ago. I remember us all starting to put it on. And people were saying, oh, what's all this 3% in sundry? What didn't start off as 3%. It started off, people, even me, who were working out how much you were putting on it. It would be 28 quid. It could be 5 quid. But then all of a sudden, somebody came up with a 3% idea for little nuts and bolts and sundries. Now it's become a standard charge. These are the charges we need to look at. There could be 5 or 6 things out there that we, together can get into these, get back onto the estimates. What we need to do, my opinion again. So really looking forward to having a great chat on the 22nd, of course. So what I would like anyone who is coming to do is think, and even if you're not, actually post on some of these posts. The reason I do this, like a baking charge, I'm trying to say, look, be creative and think, not creative, just think of the things that we miss. What charges should we actually really have on a repair estimate that we know we do not have? I want a list of them. I want to work out how many charges we are probably missing. Do you think the accident repair industry is in a bad way? Now, this was 105 votes, of course, and 83% said yes. So that's a lot of people. Everybody seems to think the industry is in a bad way. So this is what, again, really makes me keen to say we must get together and we must start thinking outside the box, and we must start thinking of new ways. Old ways don't open new doors. Old ways get you the same results you've always had. And that's what we've got to change. The way we think has got to change. The way we work has got to change. There's a lot we've got to change. And I think that's what again, Crash Clinic is about us trying to do this together, not one person sneaking off and trying to do it on their own. That's no good to nobody. You won't survive, or you won't break rules. You won't break changes on your own. But we can make changes together. I can't keep saying it enough. So please help me, join with me, join the website, of course, It's only $39.99 a month, but at least funds me to have the website. And I want you to all have the app very soon so we can create groups and discuss things. Little topics that you want to talk about, we can discuss on the go. Who are the best work providers? Insurers, the public, or accident management companies? Again, this was a 55% vote here, that everybody understands that the public are actually the best work providers that we can have. Why is that? I think that's because we're bypassing insurers and we're bypassing the accident management companies, is the reality. So that's made me again start to think, okay, there's a big area here that we all prefer that work. So where's it coming from? Now, when I say we get together on the 22nd, there's a reason. There's big methods behind my madness that we can work together. So we obviously all want more public work. You'll understand when we get together on the 22nd, I've got lots of little plans and lots of ways for us to connect that can make this better. So again, please don't miss out on the 22nd. Phil Shedden, lost count of how many times I've explained the IAR compliance charge on the recent estimates to engineers. Most of them don't know what it is. This is it, Phil. You know, anything creative we can get, and not creative as in a creative accounting, doing anything wrong. It's what I really believe. There's little charges we need to charge on these invoices. And this is what I'm trying to say about standing together. If we all woke up tomorrow morning and that charge is on those invoices, they're soon going to understand that we want paying for that. And if we all stand together and say, this is what we want, I'm going to be honest and open. You're going to hear me talk about it on the 22nd. Parts discount absolutely blows my mind. I do not understand why any of us give a parts discount to anyone, especially now. It's something that I stopped years ago and said, no parts discounts. I'm not giving them. And it's something now I think we all very, very strongly need to stand together on. I have to pay a member of staff to manage them constantly, and I lose money on parts. I have to store them. If they get damaged, I fund the cost. If I have to order them in advance and use my money as a bank to fund them. So I'm losing money on that. It's just outrageous. Anyway, that's going to be talked about on the 22nd. Tonight we'll crack on. So the best work providers are obviously the public. And that brings me to say that's obviously the work, again, that we want. So these are the things I want to discuss and say, okay, we all want more public work. How do we get it? How do we get it together? There are ways, and this is what we need to be discussing. You'll understand when you come, where I'm coming from, and how we can do this together, guys and girls. BSI, the BSI charge is something that, again, it's one of them that I think is it's a good thing in the industry, but I have been arcing on that I don't think it stands for enough. It's a shame because it should stand for enough. But like a lot of us have been saying, if you have the BSI and then insurers want you to take pictures of absolutely everything, what is the point of having the BSI? So I asked if people think, although I think it's a great thing, I asked if people thought it was worth the money. 75% said no. So again, these are the little things. I know there's a lot of people that aren't doing it now, that are coming out of it. Is it worth having? These are things we need to discuss. Is there a real capacity problem? We have discussed this before, and you know, let's face it. Would you have space if you got repairs in at £60 an hour? Yes, lots of space at that rate was 55% of people, and 35% said I would cancel other work. So that gives us nearly 90% of people. So there isn't really a capacity problem for good work. There is a capacity problem for crap work. That's the be all and end all. I've had people calling us. I was away, but I was told by a couple of the guys asking for £29 an hour, £30 an hour, £28.50 an hour work. They're just going, oh, whatever. I can't believe they're even still doing that. I really can't. It's absolutely outrageous. But somebody must be going to them to say, this is the work you're going to get, and this is what we're paying for it. Wow. We are in a bad industry. We've got to change this, guys. We've got to change it together. I wanted to know as well how many people knew much about credit hire. And it turns out a little bit, not a lot. It seems to be 50-50%. That's something, credit hire is something I know a lot about, heck of a lot about, and something I'll be running again at the meetings. I'll be telling you a lot about credit hire, because a lot of people who are doing credit repairs I've obviously said this is what is really the saving grace in their business. If you're not doing them, wow, you're missing a major trick. If you are doing them, there can be a better way to do them as well. So again, all this will come out on the 22nd of this month. As a repairer, how much has your debt gone up in the last few months? Some have said none, which I'm absolutely shocked about. I can't believe that. And some have said a little, and 21% have said it's doubled. Now, if you're anything like me, just buying the parts that we have to buy has become a major problem. So my debt on there alone has doubled because the parts I'm having to buy in advance and the cars haven't even come in yet. That's gone through the roof alone, let alone the money waiting to come in from these other repairs. So yes, my debt's gone through the roof, and I would have thought a lot of other people's would have as well, because yeah, another crazy thing how we seem to be. The parts is probably causing the biggest problem, that I think. And again, is parts a major problem for you? It is for me. So I've got some ideas with parts. I've got some ideas that we can run together to try and help ourselves get better. Now, yes, I could run off with these ideas and just do them all myself. I did this in the 80s. I went to one meeting where people were all backstabbing each other. I thought, not for me. But this time, we're a different generation. I think we can work together. My own opinion. I've got ideas. I know you guys have got ideas. And I think if we all put them together, we can help each other. Because at the end of the day, there is too much work in this industry. It's us that need to get better. It's us that need to become a stronger force together. And that's the only people to blame is us. So if you're not doing something about it, if you're not being a bit more open-minded and saying, yeah, you know what, I shouldn't really be, we should be a tighter knit. I know my father-in-law was in the roofing trade. They were all so close. Wow, they were absolutely fantastic. They all helped each other, worked together, went on, business meetings together to talk about and make their bit. Very good industry that made a lot of money. Why? Oh, because they got together. Anyway, I think you get my point on that. We need to get together and start working together. Should a customer have to pay double their excess to use a repair centre of their choice? Absolutely disgrace, of course. No, they should not. And I think any insurer that's doing that is outrageous. But really, how much is this affecting people? Something else I want to discuss. We did have a letter that was helping a few people. I do think the insurers will stand up against that soon enough. But again, there's other ways I was saying about us looking at this, because if an insurer can't repair my car quickly and they're telling me I've got to wait 3 weeks, there's no way I'm paying a double excess anyway, because for me, they've broken the contract. But we need to look at this. And if the insurers are going to play dirty, where they're playing dirty, we need to stand up and say, okay, we're going to have to put something in place to fix this problem. So again, I've got other ideas that we can discuss and we can work on together to fix this. And I want to know if you've got any ideas. When I give you mine, I want to see what comes back as to how we can actually challenge this and stop this from happening, because it is so wrong when you think apparently there is a work problem. Why are they doing this to their customers? Beyond me. But anyway, that's another problem that we need to fix, because 96% of us think it's a disgrace. Do you factor your invoices? Now, this is something that I've been talking to a few people about recently. I used to factor in the old days, and in the old days, you would factor an invoice and they would take a small percentage, and because you would get paid in sort of 60 to 90 days. But you got, your repair was decent. There was none of this excess stuff and none of these other problems and all this bullying that goes on. So you would send in your repair and you would get paid. It worked great, to be fair. It was a very, very tidy factoring thing. Where now, again, I don't think traditional factoring works, because traditional factoring was at the end of the invoice, end of the repair, they would pay you and then recover that money within 90 days of the terms of your recovery. Well, I don't think the problem is actually at the end anymore. I think the problem is at the start, because the biggest problem I have at the moment is funding parts. And again, I don't get it. Not only are we funding these parts and this problem, they're expecting us to give parts discounts. So that area, I think, is a big problem that probably could do with factoring, probably could do with help there. I don't factor at the moment. So I wanted to know how many people did. It looks like 71% of us actually do factor invoices. I'm not saying it's a good or a bad thing. It's going to be a good thing if you use it wisely. And again, I think we should all discuss, how are we using it? I want to come up with a new way of factoring. And I am talking to some financiers that I think may even do it for us. So again, we'll find out about that on the 22nd. I'm looking to try and make products, make things happen that help us as repairers. Remember that. And I need your thoughts, your brains as well to help with that. You'll come up with an idea and we'll go, brilliant, let's try that. Let's put it together. So we need that help. Matthew Cooper, isn't additional accessories against FCA regs? If so, who is holding the FCA to account? Could be a good, and this is what I'm saying, Matthew. What we need to do is we fire these questions around together, but is anybody actually doing anything about it? Is anybody actually challenging it? Is anybody actually trying to do anything about it? We just talk about it and say, oh yeah, it's against the regs, isn't it? Yeah, oh yeah, but we need to do something about it. And this is where I'm actually saying this is what Crash Clinic is all about. If we're going to challenge something, let's challenge it and let's fix it. But at the minute, nobody does anything. Why do you think they abuse us? Let's face it. If you see a bully bullying a kid, why does he bully him? Because the kid lets him bully him and keeps letting him bully him. But they need to be stood up to. That's what happens. If we don't stand up, it just keeps going on. And we need to do this now. So we need to challenge these things. Apparently not, and they have written it cleverly into their contracts. Apparently so. It's all apparently because we don't challenge anything. For parts issues, could all repairers, sorry, how are you doing, Kevin? Nice to have you on again, matey. Could all repairers upload any parts they have in stock into a spreadsheet that we all have access to so we can buy parts off each other? May help with back orders and parts. Kevin, you'll find out on Tuesday as well. Hopefully it'll be great to see you on the 22nd. I also have a website called ebuygum.co.uk. I'll put this in here now for you because I started a website which is launching in about 2 weeks' time, version 2. It is there anyhow. And I launched something called R2R, repairer to repairer. The idea of that is it's totally free to repairers. You can list your parts on there because you put them on eBay and all that. Yeah, it's great fun, but costs you money. Anyone else from the public can buy your parts if they need also, but it's free for you to list your parts. Anything you've got as a repair center, you can even sell your cars on there. You put your parts on, and if we all use it and we all search for each other's parts, it's totally free. So we can search and find the parts. There's a website already there ready and waiting for that one, Kevin. So well done, mate. It's something I'd thought of, and in fairness, last year I actually launched it. And I asked the Body Shop magazine to put it in their paper, but they said they were going to, but they didn't. So interestingly enough, I think Body Shop magazine wanted to go more towards eBay motor parts because it's more money, sponsorships. Mine again is here to help the repair industry. It is free. So you can list your car parts, take a quick pic. The apps, the 2 apps come out in fairness, hopefully in the next couple of weeks again as well. So you can snap an image, put your part on, make sure it's got your part number. I've just started to do mine, and then we can buy off each other. And guess what it costs? Absolutely nothing. So there we go. Well done, Kevin. But yeah, great idea. And obviously my idea, your idea there, it's there ready and waiting to be done. So go and join eBuygum, sign up and start listing your parts because we'll push that more and more. And these are the things, again, all part of Crash Clinic to help each other. Great idea, Kevin. It's there. You don't need a spreadsheet. It's free. You can put it on a spreadsheet and you can upload it into eBuygum. You can, with your mobile phone, your partsman can put them on there and then. And if you want stuff, it won't take long as the whole UK are putting their parts on for us to start searching. And it's free. Crikey. How much more can I say? It's free. Right. And factoring will help with your problem, Darren. Yes, I believe it will, Phil. And again, I've got that's what I'm saying. I want to talk to people because I like to put new ideas, new concepts and new products together. You've probably learned. I had one years ago with Admiral who said I would make them famous on Watchdog by the end of the week. They had already been on there and BBC said it wasn't in public interest. That's the power of insurers, I'm afraid. And that's what I say. But there's nothing more powerful than the law, I'm afraid. If you want to put something in place, there's nothing more powerful than the law. I always say do it legally. If you win it legally, you're away. What do you think has destroyed the non-fault credit hire industry? The legal system. The legal system's destroyed it. That's what's done it. And it's been flaunted by solicitors, all these people. Everybody says, why do they involve solicitors? That's why they've managed to destroy that industry. My opinion now, they need to go. They've done their job. Bye-bye. Anyway, again, something else massive that we'll talk about on the 22nd. That's going to be a great one. Does anyone get auto authority on their contracts? It could solve a lot of factoring issues for anyone using the facilities. Great one there, Brett. And, you know, I don't know if anybody does, but again, with a lot of independents, you don't get an auto authority. Now, many moons ago, this is something I will talk about again very soon, because if you look at a loss on a property, what normally happens is I had a tree fall on my wall and it smashed my wall down. I phoned the insurers. They said, oh, I said, no, I'm not waiting that long. I just went off. I got it done, got it repaired, sent them the bill. They paid it. That wasn't waiting for any authorities. It wasn't waiting for any builders. It wasn't waiting for any. But in our industry, we kind of do. We sort of wait for this authority, wait for this thing. The insurer has to insure the loss. Many years ago, I just used to crack on and repair the car and send them the bill. So that's something else that I would like to test again now, because I haven't been part of the mainstream. Again, I'll explain that when we're live on the 22nd. I haven't been part of the mainstream kind of repair sector until the last couple of years. And it's what's opened my eyes to say, wow, this industry is in a bigger mess than in the 80s. So, yeah, these are all things that we need to discuss and try and make better ways of doing it. Brett, Phil said, Brett Archer, there's a couple of contracts out there that utilize auto-auths, and it is generally really helpful. However, it is also lower paid contracts. I don't know of any contract where with any reasonable rates that auto-auth. Yeah, that's the problem. It's all the £32 an hour contracts that that do it, as I understand. Well done again, Phil, for sharing that. This is the stuff we need to know. And again, I think we can come up with something better than that's already there. And again, I'll discuss this on the 22nd. Lots to discuss, lots of knowledge to share. Teddy Swangrade, so I agree factoring would help, but the contract work already take far too much off the final invoice, not leaving much room for factoring. You're very right there, Terry, but that's time to change. We've discussed this, time to look at the contracts you've got, and we need to be looking at what contracts we're actually doing. What have I missed? How are we doing, Tim Kelly, Claim Guru? Hope you're well, my friend. Yeah, you've missed loads. So I'm trying to fire through these because I've got quite a few tonight. As an independent repair centre with no insurance approvals, do you think insurers care how good your repair centre is? This is just something that it's annoyed me for donkey's years. There's a lot of great repair centres out there. Independents really go to town to doing a great job. Yes, I class in us as one as well, of course. And I've never, ever had an insurer say, hey, I'd like you on my books because we know you're a brilliant repairer. 33 years, not once. So do they care about how good the repairer is on their network, or do they really just say, can you do it as cheap as possible? So it's quite interesting, but I think we're all repairers, remember. I'm only talking to repairers, and we've got 74, nearly 75% of people. That's 3/4 of us believe you insurers don't care how good your repairers are. Wow, quite a sad stat, to be fair. Quite a sad stat. When a vehicle is drivable, should insurers have to pay the parts element of the repair up front, so a repairer can order the parts to keep a customer off the road for the shortest period? Now, this is another thing. I understand it, but it blows my mind. If you go down and order a settee, you go in there, see, I like that settee, I want that. Brilliant. Pay me now, and you'll get it in 3 to 4 months when it arrives. That, to me, is like a parts backlog, isn't it? They can't get the parts, they can't get the item, so you pay now and wait for it to come in 3 or 4 months. Why is it in our industry the insurers want you to keep the repair down to a minimum? Even the non-fault side, they want you to keep the repairs down. I get it, of course I get it. And it's the obvious cause of action. So order the parts come in, then you can repair the car in the shorter time. But why should the independent repairers be funding this? That's what I don't get. Really don't get. We should be saying, there's the job. it's drivable. Insurer, pay for the parts so we can order them. And I actually think it's something that we should all be, again, when I said you can slip things onto an invoice and we all stick together, that the parts sundries were never there, and then we all stuck together putting them on, and all of a sudden they became part of the estimate, part of the invoice. This is something as well. There's a few things, parts discounts, we should all say no. And then we come to this, even ordering parts. Parts is a massive, massive problem of our losses, in my opinion. Handling them, ordering them, the cost of them, it goes on. Anyway, so I believe that. And when I asked this, I was absolutely shocked, if I'm totally honest, that 23% said no. Because I do believe they should, especially now, more than ever, this industry is changing. And we must be the only people on the planet that order things in advance at our cost. Like I say, go and order a settee and tell them you'll pay them when it comes. They won't order the settee. And we need to stand up and do the same. I'm telling you now. Matthew Keeper, you don't need authority from the insurance company. You can use a qualified independent engineer who can agree. Reasonable costs insurance companies are obliged to pay out. We know they'll fight it. But yes, Matthew, you're 100% right. And that's where I'm going with it. Maybe that is a way forward for us. Again, we'll discuss this on the 22nd in greater detail. Phil Shedden, good shout that, Darren, regarding sending them a bill post-repair. I have a non-fault work stream where we do send them the bill. If they haven't responded to our estimate within a fortnight, it's time-consuming getting paid, but we do get paid. However, we have leverage with loss of use, so that's why it's successful. Yeah, exactly, Phil. Again, this is where I'm saying it has to change. The whole process has to change. I'm already changing it behind closed doors. Lots of changes that I've been doing and lots of changes I want to tell you guys about. But we're in this together. We're in this together. Who on earth voted no to this? I don't understand. Nor me. It blew my mind. Who would say no to funding all the parts up front? Because how much, if you wanted to go into your own business, how much are you actually funding for jobs that aren't even in yet? Wow. It's crazy. It's crazy. Terry Manahan says on holes in Dublin and can't hear or see next week. Sorry, Terry. Hope you have a great time, mate. Hope you haven't got the flu like I did on mine, but thanks for trying. Thanks for trying to tune in anyway, Tez. Very good of you. Kevin Shaw, but you won't have to pay for all the parts until 30 days after they arrive. Well, yes, but a lot of parts at the moment, Kevin, are still not in. You've got one, we're having a lot where they're now saying we're sending you the order regardless because there's one part on back order. We're not keeping them in our stock room. So it's like, wow, yeah, you don't want to keep them, but we have to. But even there, up to the 30 days, that's 30 days for them to arrive. The repairs seem to be taking longer to complete. So again, that's getting worse. But there's also parts, we've had it with Westway Nissan now, that have said they're not giving any new accounts and they're not giving any discounts. So you're having to pay in advance. Crazy. Suppose it all depends where you are in the country, which would do that. Anyone who said no is a business fool. Yeah. I couldn't believe it, Tim, to be honest. It's like, who would say no to that? But there you go. Graham Keep. Hello, Graham. First time I've seen you on. Nice to see you there. You used to have to wait 90 days after repair was finished before we got paid by a non-fault claims company. Yep. And again, I just don't get how we just fund too much and it's wrong. We ask for complete orders only. I don't know who you're using there, Kevin. We did that for a while, and yes, it worked for a little while. And then I think it's sort of in the last 6 weeks-ish where people are now saying we're not, no, because I think we're doing it, someone else is doing it. They're having the same problem we're having. Loads of parts on parts on site. They don't want to store. It costs them money. It costs us money to store them. Someone to look after them if they get damaged. And they've started saying, no, you're ordering the parts and you're having them. We're like, wow. So maybe it's going to change for you as well, Kevin. But again, these are things that I think shouldn't cost us the money. Phil Shedden, Graham keep Jesus, that's poor. Yeah, the old days, hopefully, Graham. Phil Shedden, great, isn't it? And it came from insurers. Wow, there you go. I know locally the bigger dealers are not giving body shop repairs business accounts. That's what I mean. This is happening now, and very little discount. Some have knocked delivery on the head too. Exactly the same here, Jason. Tomorrow we're going off to collect quite a few parts because no longer no delivery. Kevin Shaw, not my problem. Yeah, but Kevin, that's what we did. We said the same, which is not our problem. You keep the. I only want a full order because let's face it, that's how you should get something. But they just said no, we'll cancel your order unless you come and get them. So maybe that's going to start happening to you, Kevin. I don't know who it is you deal with at the moment, but we were shocked as well. We were like, wow. So now we're having that problem. We got part orders in our workshop, and like I was just saying at the start of tonight, cars are still 6 months on order. New sales are down. Used cars are up. We've got some major swings going on and roundabouts, and nothing's settled. Is it going to get worse? Is it going to get better? This is the question I keep saying every show. We don't know, and nothing seems to be getting better. So with that in mind, I can only presume it's going to keep getting worse, which is quite scary. Quite scary. I did put this on for a bit of fun. I did like this one. When you mentioned £27.50 an hour, that's what you should get. That's the repair you should be doing for £27.50 an hour. And I'd love to get one in and do it. So here you go. £27.50 an hour. That's the repair you're getting. It did brighten up my day when we saw that. So anyway, here's something I did just put on, guys. I know I've harked on about it a lot today. Independent repairers. Do you want better work? Yes. Do you want better contracts? Yes. Do you want more profits? Yes. Do you want the industry to improve? Yes. Can we achieve this on our own? No. Sadly, no, we can't. Then why have you not signed up to Crash Clinic yet? When we get asked how many repairs can our network handle, which I have been asked, I'd like to know. We're not big enough yet. I still want more repairers. Last time I had a big network across the UK, we had over about 110 repairers, which was great. And we were doing at least 500 to 600 repairs every month. It was great. So I want to supply work to you guys. You need to be part of the network. It'll be the best work you've ever had. I promise you that. But again, we need to be bigger together. And I'll talk about this on Thursday, again on the 22nd, because you'll understand that people want a lot of volume to go through. They want us to handle that. And unless we can do that, again, on our own, we are worthless. We need to join together, just like Broker Direct did, and become a force to be reckoned with, become a stronger arm. Together, we are stronger. That video hopefully did give a few people a bit of fun there. Did anyone see Jack's Garage brick built? Oh, crikey, yes, I did. Very clever. Jason Shepherd, that video made me eyes bleed. That was horrible. I don't know if anyone else seen it, but they were putting bricks behind the quarter panel. And, very clever guy, very creative, very creative. Darren, when was you in our place taking... That was the £27 contract, Ian. Love it, love it, love it. The old days, eh? That was when we were fredging the sheds, but everyone's done it in the old days. Right, here we go again. Now, this is just something I'm talking about. Don't think I'm crazy by saying we should strike. When I say, I just wanted to throw a crazy one out there. Because everyone's doing it. The barristers today are striking because they're not earning enough. They earn a bloody fortune. But anyway, bus people, train people, everyone's going to be striking recently because of what's coming in the next 12 months, guys. 18 months is going to be horrific with everything going through the roof. They're putting billions of pounds today to try and help people get through this, which is frightening. So again, in our industry, we are so needed, but we're on that border that people still, for some reason, don't really give us that benefit. Now, would we benefit from a strike by saying everyone go on strike for 2 weeks and let these, we should have done it in August, actually. No, it's not busy enough. Let these buggers see how needed we are. Maybe. Could it be that we just went on strike over over one thing? Could we everybody stick together and say, right, no, that's not happening. And if you do, you can make changes. But it was quite, I was quite intrigued by the 32% thought we could benefit. 33% said no, and 34% said you're crazy. Anyway, who knows? Imagine if we do strike, I'll be coming back to this post. Everyone else is doing it. It's the only way sometimes you can get listened to. With all the parts problems of the days, do you think this winter will be tough to fund all the parts for jobs? I actually do, because again, if you're funding because I'm not convinced that the parts problems are fixed yet. So if you're funding jobs and ordering stuff and your money's out there and the jobs haven't come in yet and the winter's going to get busier, I think we're going to have a big problem with parts myself. And obviously 83% of us believe the same thing. So again, when we get together in a couple of weeks' time, this is something that I want to talk about, a way for us to fix this, to make it better for us all. So again, this is why we need to get together and discuss this, of course, guys. Yes, however, all those striking are employees, not business owners. How long could you refuse to work before you couldn't pay the electric bill and start working again? Yeah, don't be wrong, Phil. It has its problems. That's why I just threw it out there. That's what sometimes it's a more of a picture to say, would this hurt them more than us to make a change? That's what striking does. And I just threw it out there as a wow, because I do think for me, something like parts discounts, when I say strike, maybe we just all stick together and say, sorry, no longer. We can no longer give parts discounts. I know we do it and we fight it all the time. So I'm sorry, I can't give you parts discounts. And I've got to be honest, we get away with it. This is the things that I want to say. As an independent repairers, we should be sharing knowledge with each other. How much of you, what's the highest labor rate you've got with this insurer, with that insurer? We should have stats that we share between us that make us all more powerful, but we don't do it. Anyway, I want to talk about that on the site. I want to talk about it on the 22nd. So if you're into it, if you really want to start gaining momentum in trying to make changes, you need to be there on the 22nd. So yeah, striking is just something I put out there, guys, for a bit of a conversation one, really. So there you go. Parts is going to be a major one through the winter, I think. With all the accident repair industry in such a bad way, who would you blame? This was just something else. If it's in such bad turmoil, who is to blame for all of this? And it seems that 84% of us would blame insurers. 14% are blaming repair centres. I do get a bit of that. I think that's because we don't stick together. Because we don't stick together, that's why people are saying you could blame repair centres. Who's worse, insurers or credit hire companies? And I've got to be honest, I actually thought this would be the other way around. I thought more people would be against credit hire companies than insurers. And they actually now think that insurers are worse than credit hire companies. So, yeah, interesting. The MBRA, I've got a new contract together, of course, and it says top rates and no bottom line discounts. Interesting. As I say earlier, somebody put a post on there that said, is this just a sprat to catch a mackerel? Is this a way of you getting people into the MBRA? What better than we've got Chris Weeks next Tuesday live with us for a live debate again about the industry. You can ask these questions, guys. I am not a member of the MBRA. In fairness, since I've been doing Crash Clinic, I found out more about it. Should we be? I don't know. That's what we're giving Chris time for next week, to discuss some industry issues and to tell us more about the MBRA. I'm all for any groups that's trying to make our industry better. So it might be better to be part of the MBRA than it is to be BSI approved. They're all costs, but which one's going to do us the best? Again, interesting, but we'll find out more about that next week with Chris Weeks on. Smashing guy, and I know he's trying to do a lot for the industry, so really looking forward to that next week as well. Do you get paid on time for your repairs? I was really shocked at this. When you think how badly you get cut to the bone, and then to see that 76% of people are saying no, they don't get paid on time. That's quite a sad one, really. And again, something else that we need to be fixing. So maybe if you're having to chase so many invoices, maybe factoring's a good idea, because that takes that out the way of it. But again, I was really shocked at that, to say that 76% of us are saying that we do not get paid on time for our repairs. Terrible. Do you order parts in advance for drivable repairs? 82% of us have said yes, we do. And again, I've just spoke about that. I think it's really bad, because there's nowhere else on this planet where you would book, order parts and then let the job come in. You would get some money up front. Phil Shedden says he does it on non-fault jobs now, and he asks for some money up front. Got to be honest, my own business model does the same. But fault accidents, we need to change this. This is what I'm trying to say. When I say we need to get together and we need to stand together, we need a new business process. We need a new way. The one that we've got at the moment, we know doesn't work. The way we've been working for the last few decades doesn't work. So if we're going to stick together and try and put a new process together, we need to agree on that process and we need to make the changes. And by that, I mean, what other charges should we be putting on the bill? What costs do we have that we think we should be charging for? And how should we be billing it and charging it? I actually really believe that we either don't order parts in advance. That's going to cause a major problem for insurers. But if we didn't do it, I mean, I'll put it this way, a court case for a non-fault accident. Imagine a judge sitting there saying, okay, this hire went on for 2 weeks extra. Why? Oh, yes, Mr. Judge, because the body shop didn't order the parts in advance, and we're not responsible for that. What would a judge say? But the reality is the repairer responsible to order parts in advance for jobs? Why would that be pushed onto us? We need to make it part of our process that it's not, I'm afraid. My own opinion, again, there needs to be a resolve for it, or we have to rebel and say, no, it's no longer happening. I'm not ordering those parts. And you'll get an extra, an extra 6 weeks higher on that because I'm not ordering it until I get paid for the parts. Insurers would probably at that, if everybody stuck to that, they'd start going, shit, this is costing us a fortune in hire, so let's start paying in advance for parts. There is ways of making things get better if, and I can't stop saying it enough, if we stand together, if we come together, if we think the same way and we act the same way. I'm not going to go on about it anymore because I keep saying it. I hope you guys understand it because this industry is in a mess. We've all agreed that 83% of us have said we know it's in a mess. There's lots of problems that we've got that need to change. And if we don't come together, it ain't changing. Simple as that. So I'm hoping every week I'm trying to inspire you. I'm trying to make you think about it. So 22nd, of course, don't forget to drop me an email because it will be first come, first serve. Hopefully we'd like to have between 30, 40 people would be brilliant. 20 will be fine. I already think we're up to about 20. So if you want to get in, you want to have some chats, want to hear you get your ideas put together, it won't be the last. I'm hoping there'll be a series of these, whether it be every month, whether it be every 2 months, whether, we like to see some action on what's going on. So, yeah, please don't forget, send me an email because obviously we need to discuss these things. Thanks again for tuning in. Didn't mean to be quite this long, of course, but very good of you all. I think everyone knows we need to make some changes. Matthew Cooper, it could end up with the Advantage program. Insurance company buys the parts and retains the margin. Possibly, but again, Matthew, why should, if just because they buy the parts, why should they have the margin? Because we are the people. I have a partsman. I'm sure you have a parts man. That is his job. He is paid by me to look after parts. Who pays that? It's supposed to be the discount in the parts that pays for that guy and pays. I've got a store. I'm sure you have as well. We've got a storage section for parts. That's a space that I have to pay for. Why should it be free? Again, if we don't come together, we can't make these changes. We need to come together massively. So this one, I have done this, and then the customer agreed to cash in lieu. Yeah, I was talking to Ian Summers earlier today, who actually said exactly the same thing, who said he's had cars cancelled, cars then written off, and you can't get the money back from the insurers. So again, Kevin, this comes back to what you said earlier. Any parts that we are stuck with, we shouldn't be, I know, but it is, and we do get stuck with them. So don't forget to go and sign up to eBay Gum. This is something I really want to push. I thought the Body Shop magazine would help us with it, but they're not going to by the look of it. So we'll push it again ourselves. Let's help ourselves. No one in this industry is going to help us. This is what Crash Clinic is all about. Us helping us. I heard one insurer was trying this already. Problem is, again, Jason, they might be doing it with just their own approved repairers. We've got to think independent. Until we become that big group, we've got to think independent. We need things to matter for us, not for approved repairers. Matthew Cooper, this has ruined some previously good contracts in the last 12 to 18 months. Only benefits the provider despite the help with your cash flow sales pitch. Exactly, Phil. At the end of the day, we have a partsman, we have a parts area. Everything's just wrong in this industry right now. Everything. So please, let's do this. Let's give it a try. I'm sick of people saying, You're wasting your time. I'm not wasting my time. I've made changes in this industry and we're going to do it again. You've got to be positive and you've got to put in the time. So let's do this. Tim Kelly, who wants the efficiencies in repairing vehicles? Key to key times. Always insurers. Exactly. Mark Ormerod, again, great to have you in, buddy. We don't pre-order parts for any job as it causes more problems than it solves. You get lazy estimating. If the estimate is done correctly first time, there shouldn't be many end delays. Shouldn't be. I don't think the parts problems with that, as I say, I'm having at the moment is unfortunately parts suppliers are now saying we're going to send you the whole parts order, or you got to pay for it. And then we got parts that still, you know, we've got half an order in the workshop, and the other half still hasn't even arrived yet. So I don't know how much, if you get much of that, Mark. We get quite a bit of that, which is a bit of a shame. Phil Shedden, it's a load of shite, doesn't work. Okay. Wayne, how we doing, buddy? Cash in lieu will be the next issue for the industry. It's coming based on cost of living crisis and used car prices. Again, so why aren't we prepared to challenge this? Cash in lieu is meaning they're already doing it. They're writing too many cars off. There's, like I said, there's lots of problems coming. If we don't put our brains together, we're not going to solve them. I'd like to be ready for that and have an answer. So the minute they start doing cash in lieus, wow, why should they do a cash in lieu? Let's beat them to it. Let's do a repair. Let's get the customer. There's your repair bill. Send it into the insurer. Pay it. Oh, no, we don't want to pay that much. Then we'll take one to court. There's always ways of fixing things if you stand together. Wayne Mason Trust, 100%. Yeah, that's so let's see what come. It's going to come. I think we all think it's going to come. Oh, Wayne Mason Trust already is. That's why both repairers and consumers need me. Nice little push there, Tim. Tim Kelly, Motor Claims Guru, of course. Anyone gets any problems, Tim's very good with contracts and insurance contracts, of course, as well. He can help you with lots. I told you that before. Great guy. Check his website out. But I'm sure we'll have Tim on the show again very soon. Wayne, they will did for repair bills. They will did for repair bills. They will or did. Just got me there. I'm thinking that might be a typo, Wayne. Just help me out. They will did. I'm trying to work it out. They will or they did. It's already. But anyway, yeah, that is another area that, yeah, there's some changes coming, guys. We all know there's changes coming. More important for us to stand together. More important for us to be forearmed is forewarned. And I hope you can all come, obviously, or as many of you can come as possible on the 22nd, because we're going to have some great chats. I can't wait to hear all your sides. I do believe a lot of people don't speak out on here because it's an open platform. That's what the Crash Clinic's about. It's a closed platform where you can talk as much as you want. Nobody can see it. And remember, I vet everyone who joins. So, and then you can actually create your own group where only the members of your group inside of Crash Clinic can see what you're talking about. So it's a great platform that is. Cost me a lot of money to build it, guys. I do need your help, of course. It's only $39.99 a month. And the app, I've got the app on my phone. I'm hopefully getting that out to you. I've been working on it this week to get the app out to you. We can have chats between ourselves, raise issues, share information, key information. We're going to talk about this on the 22nd. Obviously, I'm hoping a lot of people are going to open up on the 22nd because it's just independent repairers, which I can't wait for. Excuse me again. Still got a little bit of the flow, but it's nearly going. We do it for the repair bills. And instead of authorizing repairs, exactly, Wayne. So these things are coming. It's things I used to do many years ago. And there's so much brains out there, guys. We need to be ready for what's coming. We need to be ready for the abuse that we're going to get. I do believe if I'm getting calls and people still asking for repairs at £28 an hour and stuff like that, it's hilarious. You know, we're going, really? Bye, you know. But people are still asking it. Wow. Unbelievable. If you can provide a credit facility for consumers linked to a contract repair, you should sue the insurer for the consumer's behalf on the consumer's behalf. Tim, these are all things I think are going to be coming. I think me and you are going to be talking a lot more, of course. I did say this because the industry is going to change. And if we don't, well, I'm hoping, really hoping insurers come forward. I'd love to talk to them. I've done it before where we can bridge gaps and make things better. But you've got to also think if we can't, we need to have two plans on the go here, guys. One where we're hoping they're going to work with us. And two, if they're not, We need to carve, like I've said to you, we need to carve our own path. Jason Shepherd, the sub-titties aren't always right. Crash Clinic, Christ Clinic sounds fun. Was that Crash Clinic? Need to be ready in advance. Very well, Tez, very well said. I think we know that. Guys, it's been a great night. Didn't mean to keep you this long, of course. Thanks for tuning in. Again, some great discussions from you guys. Always love it. The 22nd is I'm really excited for. The 22nd is where us independents are going to get together and have some great discussions. Speak our mind, because we can. I do believe this site is a little bit quiet because it's an open platform. Please, please, please go and join Crash Clinic, of course. Hopefully you can see what I'm trying to do here. We need your help. I mean, the website itself is a great benefit for us all to be able to talk. And using it like a bit like LinkedIn, you can put problems on there and we can all discuss them. No one else gets to see it. There's nowhere else we can do that, guys. It's $39.99 a month. Come on, cheap as chips. You're only helping me support it, fund it, and keep you there. I'm not making any money out of it, obviously, at that kind of price. So help me to help you. Let's get together on the 22nd and see what we can do. Looking forward to it, because there's lots of changes need doing. And I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of great ideas that I think I've got. I'm going to bring them out to you and see what you come back with. Let's start doing it. Have a great week, guys. I hope you make lots of money. And we'll see you next Tuesday, of course, with the NBRA. Christopher Weeks. Going to be a great one again. Hasn't decided fully what he's going to talk about, but he will tell you more about the NBRA, how that can also help repair centres. We all in this industry need to come together to make things better. All of us. So again, look forward to speaking to Chris Weeks. And again, great to have all of you on board. See you all. I will watch it later in full. Tim, you're normally cooking. Go have your dinner. Great one. Thanks again, gang. And we'll see you soon, of course. And see you on the 22nd. Don't forget to drop me an email so I can book your place in, because obviously I have to set the place out, of course, ready. If you can get the earlier the book, the better for me. Of course, it's easier. I am busy like you guys, but I want to organise this so we can have some fun. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Sorry to keep you all for so long, but it has been a few weeks. So we're back every week. Can't wait for the 22nd. We'll see you soon. Have a great week. Go make loads of money. And don't forget, keep thinking of them great ideas to bring on the 22nd. And we'll see you soon. Take care, all. It's been a great night. And, we'll catch you very soon.